of your page there, it says chat. If you can click on that and hit the toggle and change it from panelists to all panelists and attendees, that would be great. Then that way we can all talk to one another, be on the same page. And after you do that, I'd love for you to introduce yourself. Tell me where in the world you are, what your name is, all of that. Like Christine and I are just saying, I'm Darby Jackson. I'm the one that's going to be hosting this webinar with you guys this afternoon. I am in San Francisco, or actually just outside of San Francisco, in a little town called Mill Valley that's part of Marin. And it's been pouring rain for 4 days. So introduce yourselves, say hello. I'm going to wait another minute or so, just let everyone come on in.
Perfect. See, Lolita just joined. Welcome. This is even better than I expected. I thought you were sharing 4 productivity hacks. Now I get 6. I feel like I got upgraded.
Yeah, I had to upgrade it. You know, I was feeling extra productive and I was getting the presentation ready. So I threw 2 extra in there for everyone. So I'm pretty excited.
It. A bonus round. We could all use it while working remotely. It's perfect.
Exactly. Lolita, hi from Chicago. Thank you for telling us, you're introducing yourself, letting us know where you're from. For all the new people, we'd love for you to jump into the chat, say hello, let us know where you're from. Change the toggle at the bottom from all panelists to all panelists and attendees. That way we can all talk to one another and see where we are and create more of a community feel here before we get started. Okay, well, maybe in an effort of being productive with our time, we should jump right in. What do you think, Christine?
Yes, go for it. You can give some background on yourself and
Kara,
get going.
Yeah, let's do it. And I just see Kara introduced herself. Kara's in Minnesota. Awesome. Hi, Kara. Welcome. As you guys come in, please continue to introduce yourselves. I'd love to meet you all. So thank you again for joining me this afternoon, taking time out of your busy day, because that's what this is all about. It's about sharing tools with you that are going to make a massive impact on your daily life. So in an effort to be productive, we're going to jump right in. So productivity is commonly misunderstood to mean working more and requiring more effort. So my goal today is to break that stigma and instead help you optimize your time so that you can actually work less with bigger results. So that's right. This is about time optimization and less work for you. Not to mention, these are techniques you can use for anything. So perhaps you've been needing to clean out your closet, or you need to do your taxes still, or have some other adulting chore that you need to get done. These productivity hacks can help get you there faster. So we've all heard of work from home techniques that suggest, get out of your pajamas in the morning, or create to-do lists, or make sure that you take time for lunch breaks. Those are all just table stakes and things that we know and that we understand for a productive day. But I want to dive in a little deeper. So in this session, we're discussing 6 productivity hacks. Like Christine had said earlier, I was originally going to do 4. I stepped it up to 6. I was feeling really productive when I was getting this together. So here we are. These hacks will help decrease your stress levels and increase your efficiency as you work from home, or like I said, if you just need to get stuff done. All so that you can work less, feel more calm, and be even more present for your life and for those that are a part of it. So without further ado, let me talk to you a little bit about how this training is going to go. So this afternoon, we're going to discuss productivity and focus, and I'm going to share 6 techniques that will help you take control of your day and be more effective at work, at home, or in anything that you do, like I said. Because when you're more productive, you're happier, you're more efficient, You have more free time. You used to have more time to work out, to spend with your family, to, well, not to travel, but potentially to travel in the future, to go places. And you can just be more in flow, right? More in flow with what you do. So the average American spends 4 hours a day watching TV, scrolling through Instagram or YouTube, or just playing on their cell phone. And you want to know what that's equivalent to? So it's equivalent to 13 years of your life and approximately $900,000 in lost income. So not only that, but it's 13 years of time not spent with family, friends, or doing the things that you love. So now, if you decide to spend time online or watching TV, which, listen, I absolutely do that all the time. Like, I've watched Tiger King and all of the shows. But it's important that you know that you're doing it. Don't get lost in time, and then before you know it, you're 4 episodes deep into a show. So that is what I'm going to help you with today. I'm going to help you set boundaries so that you can still enjoy Instagram and your television shows, and you can be fully present for those around you while also being more effective at getting things done. So a couple housekeeping things here too. At the end, I'll answer any questions that people have. But if during the sessions questions come up along the way, please just drop them right away into the chat box here. And I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as I possibly can. I'm also going to be sharing, I have some direct links and free downloads that I created as it relates to the webinar that I'm going to give you all in the chat box at the end of the session. I'm also going to pass along these slides that I'm sharing. So this way you don't need to be furiously writing things down during the presentation. You can just be fully present, and you can spend your time really absorbing everything that I'm going to be sharing here, because the goal is that you walk away with new tools and techniques that you get to implement into your life. So the biggest thing too that I want you to remember is that massive changes come from small, gradual steps. So start small, build from there. Choose 1 or 2 of the things that I'm going to share with you, the ones that resonate the most, and start to try them out over the course of the next week or 2 and notice what happens. So who the heck am I? I'm going to give you a little bit of background. So my name's Darby Jackson. I am a holistic health coach and nutrition expert. I'm also a trained Reiki energy healer and have been practicing for more than 10 years. I've worked with thousands of people to help them improve how they feel, their energy levels, and their overall approach to living their healthiest, most inspired lives. I was a former athlete, so I played Division I water polo at UC Berkeley. I went to that school on a full ride scholarship. I was the top recruit in the country coming out of high school and traveled the world playing the sport. So athletics and sports were the center of my world for a very long time. I started my holistic health coaching practice in 2014, and it took off pretty quickly. And as a result, I was incredibly busy and inundated, working with hundreds of different clients, managing programs, and then on top of it, trying to have a life and manage a household. So as a result, I started to really nerd out on different ways to hack my work so that I could optimize my time a little better. And I'm not one that believes in long hours at work, or that long hours at work equate to better work. So I think that instead it's necessary that we structure our time. And in fact, I think that when we work less, but more efficiently, that's when we create our best work, our best output. I, at the time, just wasn't sure quite yet how to do that. So I started to play around with a couple different modalities to hack my time and hack my work. So during this time, I had something else major come onto my plate. So I decided casually to start a beverage company called Après. I started it with a co-founder and with a team, and it was essentially a competitor to Muscle Milk. So it was a plant-based, clean, kind of better for you protein beverage for the modern health and wellness consumer. We saw a huge opportunity in the market for a product, and basically spent 3.5 years designing and then selling this product. We raised capital from venture funding, had massive growth. We grew to a team of 10 in less than 2 years. It was really, really crazy, and the company was totally taking off. So optimizing my output and managing my time became incredibly important. So my need for productivity solutions got even stronger. So I'm going to share with you these solutions today that worked for me and that I've also seen work for clients, other founders, VP, or people that just in general want to get more stuff done and have more free time to enjoy the things that they love. But what I'm sharing, I want it to be done in the right way. And you'll see throughout the webinar that productivity as we know it, productivity isn't always the focus. Instead, it's on ways to decrease our time spent actually working by optimizing our efficiency. That way, we can spend more time doing the things that we truly love and that really fill our cups back up, like being with family, exercising, and taking care of ourselves. Okay? Great. So I'm going to jump right in here with our very first recommendation. So let me know in the chat box here, how many of you guys have heard of Binaural Beats? Give me a yes in the comments if you've heard of them before or if you've ever tried them out. Don't be shy. Let me know. Awesome, Lalitha, you have. If anyone else has tried out Binaural Beats, let me know. Or if you're like, what the heck is that? Let me know. Cheyenne, awesome. You have. Okay. Great. So even if you haven't, that's okay. So for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you know that I am obsessed with binaural beats. And here's what they are and why they work. So binaural beats are songs or tones in each ear that help generate desired states of consciousness. So think of it like a song that's tuning your brain to the frequency you want it to be on, depending on what you want to accomplish. So better focus, creativity, relaxation, sleep. From the comments here on the right, it sounds like some of you guys have heard of them before. In order for them to be effective, you need to listen to these beats or these tones for at least 20 minutes to tune your brain. And then you also need to listen to them with headphones in and not with a speaker. So I use binaural beats almost daily while I'm working. I was actually listening to them before giving this webinar just to make sure that I was totally locked in and focused beforehand. I have them on especially when I'm focusing on a big project or I have a lot of writing that I need to get done or some other major task. So for you guys, I have a special Spotify playlist that has my favorite binaural beats on it. So you'll notice that they're labeled, or when I send it to you, you'll notice that they're labeled by outcome. So some are on focus or creativity, while others are more about, relaxation or meditation or helping you try and fall asleep. So choose the beat based off of what you're looking for and give it a try. So you can also, if you want to Google binaural beats, then you'll see a host of amazing songs and YouTube videos and things like that on there that you can also try out if this particular playlist that I've made doesn't really work for you. But I love this hack because it doesn't really require a lot of work from you on your end to get things done. All you have to do is put some headphones in, listen, and your body is going to do the rest. So at the end of this session, I'm going to share the link to that Spotify playlist that I just talked about. I'll drop it into the chat box, and then you guys feel free to play around with it and see if it helps you optimize your work. Okay, number 2. So we are going to talk about EFT, or the emotional freedom technique. So whether you're looking for better focus, stress relief, creativity, or just like simply a way to just get back in touch with your body, EFT is an incredible technique that will help you get there. So I use it quite often when I'm feeling stressed or anxious as a way to calm myself down and then get more focused, because we all know that when we're feeling too much stress or too much anxiety, especially around work, can feel really crippling, really overwhelming. So this is a great technique to help you get centered, calm, and more focused before diving into a big project or a presentation or something that you're nervous for. So Let's go through, I'd love to go through a session of this with you guys right now with a focus on relieving stress and anxiety. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do this. So we'll focus on letting go of stress so that you can focus more on the task at hand and optimizing your work time without stress and anxiety getting in the way. So, excuse me, I almost sneezed there. So before we get started, I'm going to have you guys again in the chat box let me know if you could rate your current stress and anxiety. This is a part of the exercise, so please do it. If you don't share it with me, at least do it in your head. From a scale of 1 to 10, where are you from a stress and anxiety standpoint? 1 being, you know, I'm levitating, I'm so happy, there's no stress in the world, to 10 being I'm about to, or I'm having a meltdown. So let me know in the chat there, where are you guys at from a stress perspective? Just how stressed are you from a 1 to a 6? This is going to be really helpful as we go through this technique. Good. Okay. So we've got some pretty high stress. We've got 6s, we've got 7s coming in. Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. All right. For Venus retrograde. Awesome. Thanks, Abby. Okay. All right. So everyone, I'm going to have you guys do exactly what I'm doing with my hands here. And then I'm going to have you repeat after me and say the same thing. And so what we're doing here is this is really similar to acupuncture, but without the needles. So what you're doing is you're actually tapping on meridians on your face and on your chest to help you release tension. So I'm going to have you guys, like I said, follow along with me here. It feels a little weird, a little woo-woo, but if you've ever done acupuncture or heard anything about acupuncture before, tapping on these meridians is incredibly helpful, and I'll walk through a little bit more information on that after we walk through this together. So I want you to start off with any hand, and you're going to start by karate chopping the inside of the hand. So this is my pinky side. We're just going to start karate chopping. You can do this on any hand. I'm doing it with my left hand on my right hand here, and I'm just tapping, okay? So start tapping, tap, 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 and I want you to repeat after me. Even though I am completely stressed out and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. We're going to repeat this 2 more times. Even though I am completely stressed out and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. 1 more time. Even though I am completely stressed out and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Okay, now repeat after me. I am so incredibly stressed out. Side of the eye now. I can't believe how anxious I feel. Under the eye. My body is so full of anxiety. Under the nose. I'm not sure how to control it. Under the lips. I feel so overwhelmed. I feel like I'm losing it. There is just so much work to do, and I don't know where to start. We're going to do that 1 more time. I am so full of worry about everything. Oh, I'm just so stressed out and anxious. I feel overwhelmed by everything being thrown my way right now. I just don't know where to start. I am so stressed and overwhelmed right now. I feel like I'm losing it. My mind feels so out of control. And 1 more time, and this time we're moving to more positivity. So top of the head again. I feel so much lighter and less stressed. I can feel my body healing. I know that this stress has a greater purpose for me. I know that this stress is now healing my body. I feel so much better and more relaxed. Wow, I feel so good. I can feel the stress leaving my body. I'm so ready to work on that project. Okay, take a couple deep breaths with me there for a second. Okay, and now let me know in the chat, how do you feel? Maybe you're down 1, 2 numbers on a scale from 1 to 10. How are you feeling after going through that? Let me know in the chat box how you guys are feeling. If that helped you feel a little bit more relaxed, let me know what number you're at. A 1, Abby. That's great. Lalitha, you're down by 4. Awesome. Keep sharing. And I'll let you guys know. So why did this work? Okay. So it's because tapping on these meridians in the body, we're releasing emotional barriers that had stood in the way of our body healing. And this helps ease those emotional blockages. So much like acupuncture pressing on, this is like acupuncture pressing on acupressure points on our face and on our neck. We're releasing this stagnant energy with it by all of this tapping. We're releasing these clogged and blocked areas within the body. And by doing that, we can unlock emotions and fears and limiting beliefs that have held us back. So through this work, we can also, by tapping on this, we can lower those cortisol levels in our brains. And those cortisol levels are what are making us feel really stressed out and can also lead to brain fog and a host of other things that are not great for our productivity. So I love tapping. It's helped me significantly throughout my life. But what I love about it too is that it only takes a few minutes and you can pretty much do it anywhere. You can, before you walk into a big meeting, you can do it in your car. And it's releasing this stagnant energy so that we no longer feel paralyzed by this influx of work that perhaps we've gotten from our boss. We can get started on that big project or that presentation, or we feel a little bit calmer for that meeting that we have coming up. So I'm also, at the end of the session, I'm going to pass along a link to a YouTube video that I filmed that shows you exactly how to go through that EFT process that I just showed you, so that you can learn how to do it a little bit better yourself and then continue to try it and see how it affects you. Okay, great. So moving right along here. So I love journaling. I love it. I love it. I love it. Reason number 1, it really helps relieve stress, especially when I'm feeling anxious about a big project or a task that I have looming. 2, it helps me ingrain my goals into my subconscious mind. So for me, I journal for about 10 minutes, 5 to 7 times a week, sometimes for longer periods of time when I'm really going through something or I'm trying to manifest something in my life. Journaling is incredibly powerful because it helps bridge the gap from who you are to who you intend to be. Okay, so it's bridging the gap between who you are and who you intend to be. It also serves as a way to get really clear on what we want to accomplish and call in to our lives. It's a manifesting technique that can help us call in whatever we want. So why journaling? So here's a really interesting statistic. A 2013 study found that 76% of adults who spent 20 to 50 minutes writing about their thoughts and feelings for 3 consecutive days, 2 weeks before a medically necessary biopsy, were fully healed 11 days after. Meanwhile, 58% of the control group had not fully recovered, meaning journaling can be a really good way for us to release old ways of thinking, to get our body and mind in alignment, and for us to get a clear vision of where we want to go, how we want to feel, what we want our body to be doing. It can also help ingrain our goals into our subconscious mind. And eventually, after continuing to write out our goals, your visions, your dreams, those things will start to consume your inner world and quickly become a part of your physical reality. So I have quite a few journaling prompts that I do myself that I love and that I share with clients, but the 2 best as it relates to being more efficient and calling in the things that you want. 1, so write down everything that is stressing you out and causing crazy amounts of anxiety in your life. Write it all down and really feel those emotions. Then after you've written them down, I want you to rip that page out of your journal, or just rip that page up that you just wrote on, okay? And throw it away. Sometimes I have people burn it. Sometimes if you have good plumbing, people will flush it down the toilet. But the intention of just ripping it up, it's communicating to your body that you are letting go of those feelings. They're no longer serving you. So I have people that repeat this once a week. Sometimes it's once a month, just sort of as a maintenance type thing to let your body know that it is time for those stressors to leave. A second one, and I love this, I do this daily, and I found it to be incredibly helpful in building businesses and also just staying on track, is to write down your goals for the next couple of weeks, perhaps the next couple of months, but write them down as though they've already happened. Okay, so for example, the feedback from my team is incredibly strong and positive after my presentation. Or despite working less, my boss just gave me a raise and I feel more in my worth and more accomplished than I ever have. Or even get more specific than that. I got a raise for X amount of dollars in June. I'm able to stop working by 5 p.m. each night to enjoy time with my family. So try and do this every day for a week and notice the shift as you communicate to your brain that accomplishing these goals is possible. And don't let this traditional kind of Dear Diary type stuff hold you back as it relates to journaling. Whether it's just writing down, a to-do list, or calling in your goals, or using it as a way to manage and release stress, journaling is very powerful when it comes to productivity. Okay? Awesome. All right. On to the next technique. Okay. So the Pomodoro Technique. How many times have you guys been trying to get a project done, or, answer a bunch of emails only to realize that you've been scrolling through Instagram or online shopping for the last 30 minutes without even really realizing it? Or you've gone down, a rabbit hole on something and then realized almost 2 hours later, time has flown by and you've barely gotten started on what you want to accomplish. So this is where the Pomodoro Technique comes in really handy. So this is a productivity hack that breaks your day up into 25-minute chunks, followed by 5-minute breaks. So Abby says you did that on TikTok. I'm not sure how you do the Pomodoro Technique on TikTok, but that's awesome. So it's meant to help you focus on a singular task and get it done in an optimum amount of time. So when it's done correctly, it helps you accomplish more by actually working less. The whole point here of our productivity webinar. So by breaking your time into chunks, it'll instill this sense of urgency in what you're accomplishing, rather than feeling like you have endless time in the workday to get things done. And then it also has these forced breaks that help squash burnout that we normally feel by the end of the day. So as you start to do this method, you can increase your time. So right now, I typically do Pomodoros for 40 or 50 minutes, and then I follow that up with a 10 or 15-minute break. So I get up, I get some water, I move my body around, use the restroom, check my phone, and then I'll do that round 2 or 3 times before I take a longer break. But start tomorrow, do a 25-minute round, set an intention, set a goal for yourself, and watch how productive your use of that time is. Make sure you set an alarm so you don't get lost, and hold yourself to that. I love this technique. I just think it's so powerful, and it's really easy for us to get lost in the millions of different things that we need to get done. And instead, this helps us be laser focused on what it is that we need to accomplish. All right, number 5. So as a health coach, I obviously could not leave food out of this. And as we know, food plays a huge part in our, how we think and our ability to focus. So here are just some of the ways that food, especially healthy fats, play a role in optimizing our brain function. So our brains are composed of 60% fat. So it's no surprise at all that fat is critical when it comes to optimized brain function. Higher levels of inflammation also influence cognitive function, especially as we age. and healthy fats help decrease those levels of inflammation in the body and the brain. And then a diet high in monosaturated fats can also increase production of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that plays an important role in learning and memory. So foods for us to focus on to help optimize brain function. Foods like avocado, coconut oil, wild salmon, nuts, whole eggs, olive oil. Importantly, saturated fat is one of the main components of brain cells and is therefore necessary for healthy brain function. So in one study, it was found that people who ate more saturated fat reduced their risk for developing dementia by 36. Saturated fat also provides benefits for the liver and immune system and helps maintain proper hormone balance. So healthy fats are it. Healthy fats are phenomenal for helping us optimize our brain function. So let's talk about a few of them. So coconut oil, in addition to containing what you've probably heard as MCTs, medium chain triglycerides, they're great for supporting fat loss and building lean muscle tissue, but they also can help regenerate and heal nerve function inside of our brain. So for those of you that have ever heard of bulletproof coffee, it's not just a weight loss thing. It's incredible at getting your brain ready for peak performance. Same with whole eggs. So whole eggs, yolk, whites, the whole deal, contain both saturated fat and choline, which can boost memory skills and overall brain health. Nuts and walnuts in particular are fantastic. So a 2015 study from UCLA linked higher walnut consumption to improved cognitive test scores. Walnuts are high in a type of omega-3 fatty acid called ALAs, alpha-linolenic acid, which helps lower blood pressure and protect arteries. So also fantastic for the brain. Idea for you. If you are looking for great brain optimization before a big meeting or a day where you know you really need to get focused, I suggest scrambling up some eggs, topping it with avocado, and then having your coffee or your tea with a tablespoon of coconut oil in there. And then maybe for a midday snack, you do a handful of walnuts, and your brain is going to be laser focused. And I'm just seeing now, Abby, I see what you mean. You got lost on TikTok. That's so easy to do. And I see your question, and I'm going to make sure that I answer that at the end of the session. Okay? Thanks. So food. So important when we're trying to be productive, think critically, and get things done. All right. So this is tip number 6 here, and I absolutely love this tip here. So how can we improve productivity? By moving from being reactive to proactive. So what do I mean by this? Most of us start our day from 0 to 100 real quick. We wake up 15 minutes before our first call, we check our email in bed, shoot through Instagram real quick, throw on a t-shirt, chug a cup of coffee, and then, we're off to the races for the day. The issue with doing this is that we're not giving ourselves time to set out what our own priorities are for the day. Instead, the entire day becomes reactive to other people's needs. So here's a good way to get started. My biggest suggestion is to not check email for the first 60 minutes of your day. Why? Email is a place for other people's priorities, not your own. When I learned this, I swear, it just blew my brain wide open. Email is a place for other people's priorities, not your own. So when you wake up, maybe you stretch a little bit. Don't check your phone in bed. Drink some water, have some coffee, get dressed. Then outline what are your priorities for the day. What are the major projects and deadlines that you have? What must happen? What must get done for you today? Once you have those things all sorted out, Once you know what you need to get your day started and to be effective, then it's time to open up the email and you can respond to other people's needs. But with this tool, you can become a visionary again. You can tackle your biggest priorities first and really get things done that you need to on your list, ultimately leaving more free time for you down the line. So email is the perfect place to start with this, because we all know how easy it is to roll over in bed and check the email, and automatically your heart is racing, your boss has emailed you 2 times and you're freaking out. So even if it means you need to wake up 30 minutes earlier, you can set your priorities straight, get focused, and then that will help you understand what you need to accomplish for the day. Okay? All right, so this is an incredibly important part of the presentation. Increased output isn't always the end goal, okay? The end goal is more focused time and energy on getting tasks done so that there's more time in your life for the things that you love. Being productive does not mean that now you have more time for more work. In our country in particular, and especially right now, the lines between work and home are very, very blurred. So it's so easy for us to, when we work from home, we let our life creep in. And when we're at home, outside of the office or the dining room table or wherever we're working, we let work life creep in. And then we don't get any time off or any time at all to rest. But here's the thing. When you start to become more productive with your time, more focused, and able to get things done faster and with more efficiency, you do open up more time in your life. And that time is meant to help you recover, not work more. Because constant output, constant go, 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 do, is counterproductive. When we don't get enough rest, when we don't fill our tanks back up, we're always doing everything from a place of exhaustion. Our work suffers, and in turn, our life suffers. So if you leave today with one thing that you learned, being productive also means allowing yourself to slow the heck down. It means scheduling in breaks. It means forcing yourself to stop work at 5 p.m., get to bed early. It means taking care of you. Your most productive self, your best work comes when you are rested. It's important to know that the effects of fatigue on performance are huge and include, impaired memory, difficulty concentrating. They can also, if it continues, it can lead to depression, which is, something that can lead to even less productivity and a whole host of other things that are terrible. So please take care of yourself. If you need to take a day to sleep in and lounge in bed all day, then do it. Find ways to take care of yourself so that when you do need to put the pedal to the metal and be effective with your time, you're as productive and as structured as you can be, okay? So again, if you leave with anything today, being productive also means allowing yourself to slow down. All right. What did we learn today? So we learned 6 hacks to help you be the most effective you can be when getting things done. Binaural Beats, emotional freedom technique, journaling prompts, the Pomodoro Technique, cognitive enhancing foods, and then finally, become proactive, not reactive. Okay, so I promised you all a few links that I'm going to drop into the comments section here in a second or two. I'll be sending you the Spotify playlist as well as the EFT video I filmed. I'll be passing along the slides should you want to refer back to them at any point. Before I answer questions, you guys can start putting the questions in there now if you have them. I just want to thank everyone. If this is your first time joining me for a webinar or just interacting with me at all, I'd love to get to know you. So join me over on Instagram. I'm Darby Jackson, and I'm I'm constantly talking about things like this, productivity hacks, but also food, wellness, alternative healing modalities is a really big one that I'm into right now. So send me a DM, connect with me over there. I would really love to get to know you. And finally, I am still accepting a few one-on-one clients right now. So I work with clients on a number of different factors. So we normally have 45-minute calls where we focus on building an actionable plan to help you achieve your health goals, whatever those may be. So for some, that's a focus on food and healing your body. For others, it's stress reducing techniques, biohacks to help them optimize their body and their brain, or mindfulness techniques to help reach a deeper sense of peace and calm, or it's a combination of all of the above. But I don't believe that health is just about food that you put into your body or how often you exercise. It's about how you handle stress. It's about your relationships, your work, your sleep. It's the full spectrum of all of the things. So before I go here and before I answer questions, I don't want to forget, I'm going to drop these links in here. So that is the Spotify playlist right there for everyone. Use that. It's phenomenal, if I may say so myself. There is the YouTube video of me doing EFT. So if you guys want to do that yourselves, use that. And then here is a Google Drive link to the productivity hacks that, or the slides that I just shared with you. So it looks like so far I just have one question from Abby. What are your thoughts on farm-raised salmon? So when it comes to fish, or any meat for that matter, I think it's very, very important that we get the highest quality possible. So if you're only having fish here or there, it's okay to have farm raised if you have to. But the higher the quality, the better, especially with fish and mercury. Mercury can lead to higher levels, obviously, of metal and heavy metals in the blood, and that can have a host of different effects on our body. So when you're looking for good fish, always try and aim for wild if you can. And a good hack actually is if you go to the frozen section, there's often wild salmon or wild fish available in the frozen section, and it's considerably cheaper, considerably less expensive than the fish that you would buy wild in the at the deli. So that's just a little tip for you guys. If anyone has any other questions, please feel free to drop them in there. Otherwise, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you guys so much, Christine and WellSet. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much, Darby. That was amazing and such a good reminder, the last point too, about the importance of rest. I feel like in this time, people could feel opposite, maybe go, go, go. So reminder to honor your time of rest as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And for those of you who haven't signed up to be clients on WellSet, there's still time to sign up to get 20% off your first booking. And the lovely Darby here is available for booking on WellSet. We'll be launching hopefully the next couple of weeks, so just keep your eye out, but try to get the early bird special on that one.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope to connect with you guys again over on Instagram and also via WellSet for some sessions.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Darby. And thank you everyone for joining.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.